Ever heard of J.K. Rowling? Of course you have, the woman who created Harry Potter. But do you know her real story? The one that's even more magical than the world she built. This isn't just a tale of success. It's a story of survival, of a woman who hit rock bottom and found a way to fly. Let's go back to the beginning. Joanne Rowling was born on July 31st, 1965, in a small English town called Yate. Her family wasn't rich. They lived a simple, ordinary life. From a very young age, Joanne was different. She was a quiet child who found her joy in writing. She'd sit alone with a pen and notebook, creating fantasy stories for her younger sister. For her, writing wasn't just a hobby. It was an escape from a reality that was about to get much harder. Life took a dark turn during her teenage years. Her mother was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, a cruel, slow-moving disease that weakens the body over time. For years, Joanne watched her mother suffer, with no cure in sight. It was an incredibly dark period, filled with fear, sadness, and a growing sense of helplessness. Then, the hardest blow of all came. Her mother passed away. She never got to see the incredible success her daughter would achieve. Joanne once said, "If my mother had been alive, she would have been the first to believe in my story." Imagine that pain, carrying the weight of that loss. After graduating from university, Joanne felt completely adrift. She had no stable job, no clear path forward, just a deep, lingering sadness. In an attempt to escape her grief, she moved to Portugal to work as an English teacher. There, she fell in love, got married, and had a baby girl. But the dream of a happy family life crumbled. The marriage was troubled and ended quickly, leaving her divorced, broke, and alone with a small child to care for. She returned to Britain, a broken woman. Settling in Edinburgh, Scotland, she had to rely on government welfare to survive. She was, by her own admission, as poor as it was possible to be in modern Britain, without being homeless. The cold was a constant enemy. She described that time saying, "I was so poor that I couldn't afford to heat my house." This crushing poverty led her into a deep depression, so severe that she even considered ending her own life. But there was one tiny person who kept her going. Her daughter. Her child became her reason to fight, her anchor in a storm of despair. She would push her baby stroller through the cold streets of Edinburgh, often ducking into cafes just to find a warm place to sit. And it was there, amidst the clatter of cups and the murmur of conversations, that she began to write. It was in those warm, noisy cafes that Harry Potter was born. Think about it, the story of an orphan boy living in a harsh, unloving world, who discovers he is special and destined for greatness. It wasn't just a coincidence. Joanne was pouring her own life onto the page, her pain, her loneliness, and her defiant flicker of hope. Writing that first book took years. She didn't own a computer. Everything was handwritten on scraps of paper. It was a labor of love, fueled by desperation and a powerful imagination. When she finally finished the manuscript, another painful chapter began. The endless cycle of rejection. She sent her story to 12 different publishing houses. One by one, they all said no. The excuses varied. The story is too long. Children won't read this kind of book. It won't be commercially successful. Can you imagine that moment? A single mother, struggling with depression and poverty, being told again and again that her dream was worthless. It would have been so easy to give up, but she didn't. And finally, a small publishing house, Bloomsbury, said yes. Even then, it wasn't a fairy tale moment. They told her, "Don't expect to make much money from this." They even suggested she use the initials, J.K., instead of her full name, Joanne, believing that boys wouldn't want to read a book written by a woman. So, Joanne became J.K. Rowling. In 1997, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was published. At first, the success was modest. It won a few awards, got some good reviews, but it wasn't an overnight sensation. And then, something incredible happened. It was like a spark catching fire, and suddenly, it turned into a global explosion. Children, teenagers, and adults all over the world fell in love with Harry Potter. The books were translated into dozens of languages. They were turned into blockbuster movies, video games, theme parks, and mountains of merchandise. The world had gone mad for Harry. In just a few years, Joanne Rowling went from being a mother living on welfare to becoming the richest author in the world. She became the first author in history to earn $1 billion from writing. She became one of the most influential women on the planet, a true symbol of hope for anyone who has ever felt broken or lost. And here's the most beautiful part of her story. Despite her immense wealth, she never forgot where she came from. She donated hundreds of millions of dollars to charities, particularly those helping single parents and researching multiple sclerosis, the disease that took her mother. In fact, she gave away so much money that she eventually fell off the Forbes billionaire list. She literally donated her way out of the Billionaires Club. J.K. Rowling's life is one of the greatest true stories of our time. It's a powerful reminder that restores hope to anyone who has lost it. Her journey teaches us that patience, self-belief, and the courage to get back up after you fall are not just nice ideas, they are the real magic. Her story is living proof that the hardest, darkest periods of your life might just be the very thing preparing you for your greatest success. So whatever you're going through, remember her story. Don't give up. Thanks for watching. If this story inspired you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that matters. See you next time.